Happy afternoon. Let me try this again. Happy New Year. All right, to all of the people here, the people who will be flooding in and joining us. Gosh, I hope that everything is going well. Hope everything is going good after the holidays, after all of that, stuff. And we're coming into 2024. Gosh, lots of stuff, man. It was an adventure. Lots of great things, lots of other things. A year of growth for me, growth for lots of folks, and just amazing. Um, so, hey, before we get into this, it's going to be an interesting show. If for no other reason, um, somebody, where's my Sia? Like, so I'm doing this right, and so I want to make sure before we roll the intro and get started. That we give a very special shout out to the one and only Sia, brilliantbeingmedia.com. This year has been amazing. She has been by my side the whole time, and golly, made life easy. And I'm finding out how spoiled I was, guys. All right, but it's good that we've grown and we were able to do the things that made this pack attractive, to do things for others, and that's what this is about. All right, we're doing pretty good. We're out there helping people, and now we're reaching back and we're helping other people do the same. So when I need a pinch hitter, Sia said she would be here. Otherwise, that lady is killing it. She needs an extra hour and a half a week. We all know it. But we wanted to say thank you to Sia and yeah, all the hounds, man. So thank you so much. Thank you for all the opportunities and growth. Man, appreciate you. So without further ado, let me hit the video button if I can get that right. And we will start to rock. Look, clicking buttons. There we
Are you looking to grow your business and your mindset alongside a fun and awesome pack? Grab a chair and your favorite beverage and join Mike Ashebrainer, the business mechanic, and his win-win network for the Hounds of Business Happy Hour.
All right. Hopefully nobody missed that intro. The little bit before that. And gosh, so I don't even know. Everybody said, who's coming to the show tonight? I said, I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure. But hey, we're here to have fun, educate, get to know people. Lots of amazing things are already happening with the hounds, friends of the hounds. And so we just want to start off spotlighting some special events to make sure people are plugged in, right? Most people here, amateurs do things alone. Top level pros who grow over time, they have professionals. And we want to make sure that you guys have that. So first of all, this happened yesterday. All right, Mr. Scott Raven and Sunita Reese, two unbelievable people. Scott's been in the hounds for a few months. Sunita has been there for a long time, well over a year and a half, maybe before we were hounds. So I wanted to make sure I gave them a shout out. Everybody get their phone out so they can use the QR codes. This was a unbelievable webinar. I really enjoyed this. It was timely, lots of good information, and they really help people. They really help people the way I think of it, not their language, mine. And generational baggage, right? It's what we were taught and we kind of pass on. But then we find ourselves, in our 40s or whatever age, and we're not happy, right? There's just something that we just get up and work and we do, but we're just not happy. So this goes beyond just being trying to find a new job or trying to start a business. This is about an overall view of being happy. And so this really is something else. I love the information that they gave. And so they're going to have some follow ups with this. Uh, Scan the QR code, reach out to them and DM them. All right. And let them know the hound sent you. Two spectacular people. Gosh, I hope they do this again. It was fantastic. And then now I'm going to let her speak for herself. This young lady, man, she is unbelievable with a paintbrush, anything art, digital, you name it. This lady can do it. So, Claudia, you have a special workshop. Don't you take yourself off her. Oh, my bad. I'm fighting with somebody else over the controls. I told you I was going to be fun. All right. So make sure you got a lot of drinks because it's going to be a lot of dead gummits. All right. Remember, take a sip when it's all right. So Claudia, thank you for joining us. You combine burnout for corporate entities, corporate departments, organizations, but you combine art with that. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes. Well, first of all, just wanted to say thank you. And I'm just so excited to be here with the Hounds. And basically, we're talking about stories. So my story is that pain led me to art, and it just helped me get over the pain that I was going through, the emotional pain. So that's what I'm doing now for women, allowing them to get into that inner child place that we a lot of times forgotten about. And that's how we can connect our emotions and heal and just get rid of that stress, reduce the burnout, and just be in a better place emotionally, feel happier.
Oh, absolutely, and you're really good at this. Um,
Thank you.
people, no, I've heard people say things about this. That's what I love about it. We just don't show this up here. This is people have been benefit from this. People have lives changed by what these people do, right? What you do, and it's just amazing. So go check it out. Go follow her. Go connect with Claudia, and go figure out, how to start the new year because we're all busy. If you're running a business, my goodness, right? Like that is just, we're human beings. I forget I'm not a daggone robot, right? So make sure that you plug into this stuff. And thank you so much, Claudia. We'll get back to you. We'll bring you up here, have a good time. But thanks so much. All right, what else next? Oh, the one and only Christine Bell. Pop, there we are. Hello,
Hello, Mike. How
Christine.
are you?
Oh my goodness, man. Hey, I'm me. Enough said, right? All right, happy me. So you are a consumer customer researcher, market researcher. I finally realized you gave me a presentation yesterday and it blew me away. So here's my translation and I'll give you the floor. You help people that, hey, I want to take my talent, start a business and build freedom. And then you do your task, your technical task. The problem is all the other things your employer did, you have to do. You got accounting, you got branding, you got marketing. So we just run around and piece things together and that becomes a nightmare. Did I get it
Yeah,
right?
sort of, almost. So
Go
yes,
ahead, finish it up.
I'm all about helping small businesses really get to know the target market. Yeah, really understand them on an emotional level because this is how we connect with others and understand what our beliefs are and how we make decisions. And when we understand that and we understand who we are, our superpowers, our unique value, then we can align those two. And this is where we're going to have much more impact if we have the same single-minded message across everything we do in our offer and in our brand, in our messaging and our experience. Yeah, this is what people then go, oh my God, I really get what you're about, and this really resonates with me, and I remember it. Because when we have different execution that doesn't hang together, says different things about us, most people can't remember us. And this is a big thing when we want to have impact on social media. So yeah, that's what I do. I hope that makes sense. Otherwise, feel free to connect more with me and I can chat more. I love talking about it.
Wonderful. And again, strategy. I've said it. Tactics without strategy is the noise before defeat. All right. And somebody can quote me. I know CJ, don't spoil it now. You're like a walking dictionary encyclopedia. So it's true. It just it brings peace of mind. You lay it out there in such a great format that people can just follow the steps. They don't just run around in the weeds all day.
Yeah,
So if you're looking to start a business, you're having frustrations, you want to overview like from 30,000 feet, this is the person
yeah.
to go to. So thank you so much. We'll bring you back up here soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Look at this. This is rolling, man. Wow. She taught me well. Yeah, she did. See it. Thank you. All right. Now we got this. Oh my gosh, who doesn't know her? Sweet Jesus, you're everywhere. How do you do it all? You get 30 hours a day. CJ's got 600. Is that what it is?
Oh God, no.
Gosh,
30 hours a day. I wish. I have to sleep my minimum at 8 hours. Otherwise, it's gonna be serious problems. I don't
I'm with
know.
you.
I love what I do, and when you're passionate about it, just figure out a way to get it done. So I
Yeah.
do my.
So you are. Let me introduce you. Let me introduce you. I got to do it. Met you last winter time. All right. You had a horrible injury. It was bad. It's still going on. You talk about it freely. Uh, but I'll never forget. I tell it all the time. I said, "What do you want?" Because now you can't do anything, right? It's just healing, right? And you said, "Well, I like to be a writer, and maybe, just maybe get paid for it one day." And I said, "Well, why
Mm,
not?" So then you came into the hounds like a pit bull in a house full of cats, just started making things happen, taking ownership, just being yourself, putting yourself out there. And what, you on like 800 books now? What I lost count. What, three? How many championship book belts do you got? Like
800.
three.
You are hilarious.
It's coming.
Actually, it's only 4 last year. Who knows where this year is going to take me? Um, but yes, it's been an incredible year. I definitely do some of what Kristen does, but I'm years behind her because I'm just breaking into the whole content creation right now with the ghostwriting and the graphics. But I really kicked off the beginning of last year, writing in an anthology. And these were through connections because of you after I joined the Hounds. That kind of just was the start of everything, really. Uh, 2 more, and then December 1st, um, went ahead and published an anthology. Got CJ and Susanna and Christine to come in and help me out with it. We had 17 authors join us, making us 21 that wrote in the book.
Wow.
So,
Nice.
yeah, sold in 7 countries, hit number one in a number of categories, and continues to do well, very well.
Yeah, it was amazing. And it was sad because I'm like, man, that's y'all wrote more than I read, I think. But I think when I saw the title, I was like, "Dang gummit, that is something that I would love to do." And so that's where, you know, talking to Christine and Scott and getting people to help me and say, "Look, if you focus and organize, you could do those things." And I'll tell you why I actually want to do those things now in a minute. But hey, we love you. We appreciate what you do. All heart. You're just going out there and helping people get unstuck, move forward, and you make it available to all. That's what's so great about it. You don't have to have a gazillion dollars and be a master of selling books. You really just walk people through this stuff. You and the ladies, it's just amazing. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Everybody, make sure you get the phone out, scan the QR codes, check these ladies out, go connect with them, follow with them. Unbelievable people. Man, you see why I feel like a poor kid waking up at Santa's workshop every day? Look at this.
Don't say
Dadgummit.
that.
All right,
Somebody built the
man.
workshop.
Well, not me. You see my outhouse, right? It's not that great. All right, so we will go back and we will catch up with you in a minute. Bring you back. Can't wait. All right. So now, look at the home stretch. Well, look at that. That's a nice picture. I have one nice picture, and I won't let it go. Where is she? Is she hiding? She's always changing. She's like witness protection. I can't tell. She was like pink yesterday. So hey, CJ, Dr. CJ, Dr. Constance Leland, how are you?
I'm good. I'm like, while you're talking, I'm like, oh, I can still do this and do this while you guys are talking. ADHD moment. How are you guys
Right.
doing?
Oh man, we're having a ball. So tell us about your. I'm going to be on your TV show tomorrow, right? And I'm going to go to bed at a decent hour. So tell us about what you got going on. Give us a little synopsis, real quick, on what's the highlights, because you got too much to go over, right? So give us the highlights of the top things coming up right now.
Yeah, I'm going to focus on January 1st before we move on to the next month. I just want to actually read this first before I talk about what I'm doing. Um, it always sticks with me. It says, even if you're not religious, right? It says, don't pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. And that's from Bruce Lee. Because when we go through adversity, it's either going to make you or break you. But as human beings, we want to survive. We're always on survival mode. But I actually want to change that. I don't want you to survive anymore. You shouldn't want to survive anymore either. You should thrive. You need to learn to live your best life, however that is. And from my lessons learned from losing friends, gaining momentum in social media, it took me 5 psychiatrists to actually find out I have ADHD. And people are like, it's not important if you know or you don't. It is important. Because if my professional life is doing so well, but my personal life might not be doing so well, that you don't see, right? And people always ask me, how do you do a million projects a time and answer them. And now I can. It's because I have ADHD. It's not an excuse. It's my superpower. Literally, I can do this, this, and this. But I have to have a list, because if I don't have a list, I will forget about it. If you're not in my calendar, you don't exist. That's how I see it. I have an issue with that. Please help me. But as far as the TV show, I have actually got approved. We're going to have 2 TV shows soon. But tomorrow you will be seeing us on YouTube. We just hit 25,000 subscribers. Please help me. I need to be at 50,000, guys. Please, please, please subscribe. And we're going to be an Idioflex. That means education Netflix style. It's going to be on Sundays. And I'm also going to have an Amazon Live. So if you have a book, an art, or anything that's in Amazon that I can share, let me help you sell it. I'll be like your QVC on Amazon, basically. And I want to help my community elevate. That's why I want to do big things, because I want to help you guys get elevated so that my platform can be used for everyone.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. And again, most of us, if not all of us, I would think in the Hounds, it's simple. We're good people. We try to be. We try to help others. And our business is an extension of who we are. So the measuring stick is money. The more people I help and solve their problems, the more money I should make. If I helped a few people, right? It's like if I wrote this amazing book and I only sold 2, well, ooh. But if I sold 100,000, well, that's a lot of people reading that book, getting education, getting inspired, and that's what we're about. So thank you so much. We'll bring you back up. Everybody, check into that. I might be a tiny bit nervous. I'm a little kind of like an alligator. I'm a little ornery to get too nervous, but yeah, no. And again, good for us. Look, that's what our community is about. You can DM me, DM anybody on this stage if you want to learn about the Hounds. You want to get unstuck. You want to bring in the new year, not alone, but pull resources with good, heart-centered people. That's where we're at. All right. So, not further ado, before I bring up our grand co-host, gracious man, Mr. D. Grant Smith. Before I bring him up, let me put it this way: new year, new beginnings. But actually, it is a transformational and a transition time for the Hounds. Okay, so we are looking uh, to take it to the next level. We were a group of friends, a small group, a year and a half ago before we were Hounds, and we just wanted to figure things out, push each other up, and grow. And through that, what happened was we just started rising all together. Like Sia said, all boats rise, right? And so that was great, but LinkedIn was the center of our hub as a community. Now we're moving and transitioning to where we're already going naturally, which is international business hub and resource bank. So anytime anybody needs anything whatsoever, the Hounds has it. And here's what I think makes us special. This is what we see and hear. It's not that we have things that other people don't, but it's in the collaborative way that we do it, in a heart-centered way that we put it out there. That's what makes it different. Because when I say, hey, go see this person, I know this person, I benefited from this person, and I'm telling you because I believe that's the solution. Not just to make a dollar, not just to do something, because I totally believe in them. I had a conversation the other day. I was telling my story, and the lady said, wow, who is that? I connected them. She called me back and said, wow, that was amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right? That's what this is about. Right? Good for me. Right? I'm doing well. But my job is to help other people do well. So if that resonates with you, DM us, DM any of us. And we will be more than happy to onboard. We got a welcome wagon, Mr. D. I'm bringing him up. He is going to help us with the welcome wagon. Um, so without further ado, let me put this up. This is his graphic. He does it all. You are a superhero, man. So Mr. D. Grant Smith, you like to go by D, correct?
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Make sure I can hear you. All right. So you're a gracious guy. All right. Oh my goodness gracious. Look at me. Look, I brought on more than I can chew. Hold on. Okay. We got 3 people, gracious people, because I left them off and blah, blah, blah. Hey, we're a forgiving bunch. It's a testament. All right. So D, you are all into superpower. Tell us what you do. First of all, let me go through this. This is corny, but I want to do it. Every time I hear CJ in her intro, it's like it reminds me of Apollo Creed. If anybody's watched Rocky movies, right? And we're talking about the superhero theme and storytelling, right? And a movie's just animated, just a version of a story. I mean, it is a story. So I'm gonna try it. D Grant is a growth farmer for personal growth, using a combination of storytelling with powerful teachings and spirituality, life lessons to help you transform your self concept to bring abundance, peace, confidence, happiness, and success into your life and relationships. Who's the maestro of motivation, the wisdom, the wizard of wisdom, the inspirational injector? Who uses metaphoric storytelling to plant the seeds of personal growth and empowerment? Who helps highly sensitive, empathetic individuals recognize and utilize their inherent superpowers? Who gives you the most transformative journey from the inside out? No less than a man known as G. Grant Smith. Boy, that was painful. People were looking at me, laughing. Some of them were left the backstage. You are look, Oli's about to die. Don't eat that chocolate back there. Gee whiz, Oli, you gonna choke. All right. So yeah, Tammy. Oh God, Tammy's here. I'm about.
That was well done, Mike. Give yourself some props, man.
Yay! And now I've got Randy and Tammy back here. So boy, watch. Don't show those comments. Yeah. So, all right, D. What is it about you? You've done a lot of stuff in life, and you've really found a way to tap into somebody's uniqueness, right? You want people. It's like they try to be the white bowling pins, right? They look the same. You go to bowling alley and there's just bowling pins. Problem is, most people I encounter were neon green bowling pins, right? Somebody slapped white paint on. That's how I was like, we gotta sand that stuff off. So I'm gonna let you do it. What is it that
Mm.
drives you? What do you do and why, man? Just give us the
Man,
synopsis.
so I'm a big-hearted person. For me, the S on my chest, and I am wearing my Superman shirt. It it represents solidarity and passion, and it does represent hope too. Because when we recognize that our stories are significant, and maybe significance is the word. When we recognize that our stories are significant and that our lives are significant, it changes the way that we show up in the world. And so that's one of the things I've discovered in all of the different things that I've done. Like I spent 22 years in radio. I've interviewed a ton of people. Uh, I've done all kinds of different things, but like getting into the stories of the people that I get to meet, like having these conversations I get to have with you, Mike, where we've been talking about. So today and yesterday, Mike and I got super nerdy on Rocky movies and Karate Kid and a little bit of
Yeah.
martial arts and stuff. And I learned that basically Mike is a redneck Rambo. So and a redneck Batman, which has been really cool. But like getting into the stories of stuff, it builds these heart connections. And so what I really do is I help people connect with other people's hearts through the power of story, because that's been the most transformational thing in my life. And what it does is it's helped me. As you might not think I'm a relatively shy person because I don't come across that way, but I was a super scared, very insecure, introverted person that didn't feel comfortable putting myself out there at all. But it wasn't until I embraced my story and I embraced myself, and I just show up as me now, and like I don't have to try to convince anybody of anything. I just get to be myself. And when we do that more regularly and we let our big hearts come out, the right people come to us, and we don't have to try. It's just easy and it's fun.
All right. Well, tell us about. I mean, was it in childhood? Was it recently? Because for me, it's been recent, like in my 30s, where I just really stopped living on autopilot, stopped believing the negative tapes. So, was there an event, or was it just kind of like a series of events that kind of led you to have the courage to go to that direction, man?
Well, it's been a couple things. I'm a very spiritual person, not a very religious person, but I had a spiritual experience about 8 years ago now, where it just felt like I was about 20 stories below rock bottom. I was in the middle of going through divorce, and I heard this little, still small voice speak to me and say, "You don't know what love really is, and you don't know how to love yourself. And this is the true cause of all of your pain." And when I had that moment, it was like, holy cow. And so then I just became a student of what is love. And I call myself the growth farmer. That came from a conversation I had with one of my friends and heroes, Seth Godin, who planted this seed inside of me. But when I treat my heart like a garden and I treat my mind like a garden, and I constantly and consistently plant what I want inside of me with my thoughts and my beliefs, my feelings, it affects what it is that I produce with my life. And then it affects the things that I attract into my life. And so that's for me changing the story. And the more I do that, and the more that I love this person that I am and recognize that I'm actually my best friend and I'm actually my true love. And I'm actually the one person that I can't live without. So let me be really, really good to this dude. Like, that's been such a transformational thing, and it continues to get better and better and better.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I think a lot of people, D, can relate to that. Um, look, I saw a squirrel run by. Oh, speaking of super people, look, I got to give him a shout out. Gabe Leal. All right, so when I first put my camo hat on and hit the button, it was this guy that actually let me know, because I didn't know. I had no clue what I was doing, what numbers were good. And so I remember watching Gabe all the time before anybody really did a live stream. It was just a handful of people. I mean, it wasn't like it is today. And so Gabe, or Gabe, yeah, so that's a fun story. We'll have to have him up and explain it. But Gabe, I said, I took my show stats and I sent it to him and said, hey, is this good? And I got a response in 5 seconds. I was like, well, it must be interesting at minimum, right? And so the guy is just, he just boosted people up. He really gave me the inspiration to share this with others, right? Like, to share all of these things, people to spotlight this guy. So there you go. That's the Gabe Leal, man. His superpower is connecting people and boosting people up through live streams. So thank you for that, my friend. All right. So let me do this, because you're a pro. So you tell us about your background, because real quick, because you've been on radio and you've done a lot of stuff, man. You've got a Tom Brokaw type of resume. So tell us some of the fun things that you've done, so folks can know, like, how to connect with you on a personal level.
Well, I'm a superhero nerd, if you can't tell already. I'm a nerd of basically all things 80s. In particular, some specific athletes. Bo Jackson was the greatest football running back of all time. But like, I spent 22 years in radio. I spent 16 years as a syndicated radio host. For a while, that was all I ever wanted to do. And then I realized that there was something else that was inside of me that I wanted to like venture into. And somehow I left a radio station that I was kind of committed to being at for forever and got into entrepreneurialism. And I'm still teaching myself how to be my own boss. And it's been 11 years. And it's still a process. But my coach told me this last year, and it was an epiphany. When I had my radio show, what I did was I took unsigned and independent musicians and I put them on my show. But I didn't do one song, I did two. And I told the story of the musicians, and I curated music around a theme. And that's what I presented. And my coach told me, he's like, dude, you've always been a storyteller. Ever since the first time I heard your radio show, he's like, I never listened to the radio. The radio was boring, but I listened to yours because it was interesting, because you were doing something special. You were doing something different that nobody else was doing. And you were telling the stories of these artists. I started to care about them. And I'm like, I didn't realize that that's what I was doing, but that's exactly what I was doing. And about 3 years ago, I've always enjoyed comic books and I've always enjoyed writing, but I had never given myself permission to. And so I was in a romantic relationship and I was writing a ton of love stories and just giving them to her all the time. And she was like, these are great, but what if you wrote this, but it wasn't romantic? Like, would you write stories that are not like love stories? Would you give that a try? And I was like, So I started doing that. And then what I found was God started speaking to me in a way that he wasn't speaking to me before, by giving me stories that I would start writing. And then after I would write the story and I would start sharing with people, they're like, dude, I've gained so much like wisdom and so many life lessons from the stories that you wrote. And I'm like, wow. So I compiled the life lessons and courses and stuff that I've been teaching and things I've been doing from a coaching standpoint. And then I compiled that with the stories that I've been writing. And I'm a relationship person. The coaching that I started doing at the beginning of my coaching journey was I was helping musicians build relationships in the music industry and building relationships with influencers. And so I take relationships really seriously. That's why when you come into the Hounds, my welcoming committee stuff, you get a message from me directly. Like, I want to connect with you. So I took my stories and I took everything and I put it on a platform so I could build relationships with people to read my stories. So if you go to Amazon, you'll find 2 books from me, but you won't find any of my fiction stuff. my spiritual and personal growth fiction stuff. You won't find it there because I will never get to know that you bought something from me from Amazon. I'll never get to see that. But if you come and you buy from me directly, I can have a conversation with you and know how what I communicated, the story, how it impacted your story, how you see your story differently. That means something to me. And so so that's everything behind what it is that I do, man.
Hey, there's a great question already coming. And before we bring up the people that are patient with me because I didn't bring their daggum slides today, um, Gabe or Gabe, fancy Gabe. Um, who is your favorite comic book creator?
So creator is an
Gosh,
interesting word. I would say writer is probably either Jeff Loeb, who did a lot of really awesome stuff with Batman, the Dark. Yeah, him or man, Alan Moore was really good. There's a lot of different people. Stan Lee,
it's a big
obviously.
loaded
Yeah,
Stanley.
yeah.
Well, let's ask the
Mike
audience.
Nico.
Audience, chime in. Who is your all-time favorite? Let's make it easy. Go ahead. Favorite hero, right? Comic
Oh,
book or show hero. Let's say comic. What's the proper word for it? And
superhero.
favorite superhero. And you can say dad and stuff if you want to, but
Well,
hey,
she asked. Gabe asked who my favorite creator was. I took that to be
no, I'm
author.
asking the audience.
Oh, okay, I
I'm
see.
now, yeah, I'm flipping the script.
I see.
Yeah, and I don't give warnings, so there you go. And my wife's calling me like she don't know. She's supposed to be watching me right now. Somebody call my wife, tell her to turn this in. She's not watching. Ain't nobody else gonna watch, right? Come on. All right. So let's bring her up. I'm gonna give you an opportunity because I like to know what Isabel Fortin.
Hi.
All right, the bird to my Ernie. It seems like this last month. How are you today?
Fantastic.
Good, good, good.
We do tend to spend a lot of time together. I hope your wife is not jealous or.
She is appreciative. She she. Oh, uh-oh. Look, I just knocked her out. Look at me. I told y'all it's gonna be entertaining.
You know, Mike. If you didn't want me on your show, you should have just said so. I'd be in bed, man.
There it is. I figured it out. All right. So give us your elevator, tell us what you do because you do a lot and I love your style.
Thank
I
you.
love your style is direct. It's like Stephanie D'Alfonso. The stuff she says to me can't be aired anywhere except HBO. But sometimes you need that tough love. So tell the folks what you do and what you're all about real quick.
I'm a mindset strategist, so I help people and corporation through workshops and public speaking and conferences to see the whole picture, see everything about their lives, because the broader your vision, the better your mindset. And I'll give you an example. If you take one person's comment personal and you get offended by that and you let it affect you and you don't see where it's coming from, what that person is going through, where that person is coming from, what's that person's story, then you might take that to heart and screw up your entire mindset and let it affect you in ways that it maybe it shouldn't. So that's what I do. I help people with their mindset and to see the whole picture and not just that of their lives. That's what I
Nice.
do.
Nice. D, you go ahead. Throw the questions, man.
Well, I was gonna say, aside from wardrobe and coordination was a big part of today's conversation in a variety of places. But I'm going to say, aside from you having the ability to match your hair with your shirt or your blouse, which is a superpower, I'm curious, what would you say your superpower or superpowers are?
Okay, so first off, I match the shirt to the hair because that's way easier than doing the opposite. That's the first thing, D. And the second is I have two actually superpower. The first one is perspective. I've always been someone who can understand everybody's point of view, and evil people, even people who disagree with me, I can always understand where they're coming from and why they think what they think. So that would be my first superpower. And the second one is laughter. I life is too short to take it this seriously. We're all gonna die, and there's nothing funny about that. So in the meantime, let's just enjoy the ride.
Winner. Winner.
Nice.
Thank you.
Who was it? If Brian Segray's still here, man, somebody fix it. It says we suffer more in our minds than we do in reality. Was that Seneca or was that Marcus Aurelius?
I think it
Yeah,
was
the
both of
rednecks
them.
quoting.
Mark
Okay.
Twain said the same thing. He said that I've had thousands of problems in my life that never actually happened.
Right.
Yeah.
He also said that quitting smoking was the easiest thing he's ever done because he's done it 1,000 times, right? That was Mark Twain too, right?
Yeah.
And again, this theme is not just to be silly and fun about the superpower. You really got to tap into that. I mean, like I realized that I can really sense how people feel and I can see strategy and really patterns. And I thought that was weird.
Hmm.
And I didn't know how to utilize it because I could tell somebody didn't like me from the get go, but I didn't know how to
Hmm.
capitalize. I just freak out and leave. And
Yeah.
now I understand how to lean into it because their fears are similar to my fears. We're all human, right? And so this is
Yeah.
what we're talking about. The theme is fun, but what we're talking about is tapping into who you truly are and just letting that out. Courage before confidence. D was writing love notes just to make make his partner happy. And then that became a next stone, a stepping stone, and so forth and so on. And that's what I want. Courage before confidence. This could have went real bad over a year ago, right? But it didn't. And who knew? I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to be myself. I actually bought nice clothes 10 years ago, right? Like I wanted to wear them. Um, but now this is who I am. So speaking of who we are, man, we got a brand new hound, man, fresh out in the pen. Let's go ahead and bring him up, Mr. Lion Flood. How are you today, my friend?
I am absolutely well. Thank you guys. And I appreciate seeing all the smiling faces and the energy.
Oh, dude, it is great. So give the folks what you do, man. What do you do? And what's your superpower? Go ahead.
Great. I guess I'll start with the superpower first, since that's fresh on the mind.
Yeah.
I think my superpower is my ability to control my pheromones so I don't let them out all of the time, and be chased down the street. So that's my superpower. I guess that was my failed attempt at humor, if no one else caught that, but
We were
okay.
trying not to. We weren't sure if we should laugh or not because you're new. We don't have a baseline. So yeah, dude, I
Yeah.
love it. You haven't told a
And,
joke the whole time I've known you, so I appreciate
and
that.
then thank you. And then so what I do is I just help people to look better on screen, right? I assist you and stop looking boring in your meetings and so forth like that. So that's what I do. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. We were talking and then balloons came out the back and my country butt was like, what is that? What you're gonna go get those. He's like, dude, really? Like, yeah, I know. Yeah, there's not real balloons. I'm like, y'all think I'm joking about this outhouse stuff. You just keep it between us. All right. So appreciate you having you here. Again, birds of a feather really do flock together, guys. And again, we have lots of differences. We're all from all different countries, backgrounds, but somehow we make it work. And I think it's intention. I think that's what it is. We want it to work and we want to spotlight people and we give each other forgiveness and grace, man. And we got to do that. So speaking of that, let's bring up, all right, the one and only Mr. Smiley with the chocolate bar, Mr. Ole. He is so shy, guys. So be careful in the comments. He's just a shy guy. He's not. I'm being sarcastic. How are
No,
you today?
shy. I'm not shy. How are you doing?
Unbelievable, my friend. So tell us, what is it that you enjoy doing, and what is your daggum superpower, man? I already know the
Well,
answer.
well, since years and years, I've been enjoying to play with words, and since 4 years, I'm now a new language coach. It's about helping people to learn and improve French and using the brain, but also the brain and the brain. There is three brains: the heart, the gut, and the real brain. But it's about playing with words and seeing the best in human beings also. So, Vincent, I can say to all of you, you are fantastic because it's about making laughter and making fun and making puns. And it's you when you embark your brain with your heart with your brain, then you are connecting better with human beings. what if you are speaking Turkish as a native language, and I can say to you merhaba or teşekkür ederim? You are connected really instantly because you connect with your brain of your native language, and you know that I make the effort to build rapport to connect with you. So storytelling is something that I would like to improve, to show myself more. And I am who I am with my crazy shirt. I'm still having Christmas vibes, and it's okay. It's just to having fun. So, any other question?
Hey, I do. Do you make your own chocolate?
No,
Real
I
no.
buy it. I buy it from the shop.
Okay.
Mike, France is right next to Switzerland, and Switzerland have the best coffee, the best chocolate.
No.
All right.
We are going
Real
to create
serious.
a diplomatic incident, but for me, for me, it's Belgian chocolate. I already tasted some
wait.
Swiss chocolate, but I rather prefer Belgian chocolate than chocolate like Lindt. But maybe I compare with wrong chocolate brands. But it's really obvious. I'm in Belgium, so
Yeah.
that's it.
Hey,
All right.
Oli,
Hey, all right. Real quick. While I pull everybody up, I'm gonna let D. I have to know this. Dark chocolate comments. Dark chocolate or milk chocolate? This is really not a question, but I just want to see who I'm gonna let in the pack or not. So while we do that, I'm gonna bring everybody up and let D roll with this. Audience, dark chocolate or milk chocolate? Now, no cheating. All right.
Oli, dark chocolate.
Of course,
No cheating.
always
All right.
always dark.
there we go. That's the
Always
correct
dark.
answer. Excellent. All right.
Je suis d'accord avec toi, Oli.
I wasn't paying attention. What was it? It was dark chocolate. It had to be.
It's dark chocolate.
Okay.
At
Yeah,
least
that's D's chocolate.
70%.
Go
So
ahead, D.
I'm curious for you guys, since we're talking about storytelling, we're talking about superpowers, inspiration comes into all of this stuff. And part of what it is that we do as individuals and as leaders is convey inspiration to other people. I'm curious for everybody that's here, we're all people that are driven by inspiration, but what kind of what kind of things actually inspire you to see beyond what's right in front of you and level up yourself into the next stratosphere?
Can I take that first?
Totally.
Since I do have to go. Is that okay?
Totally. Yeah, go.
What fires my belly is helping other people and seeing their success. And when I see their success and they level up, it's between me and the man over there counting. Like, you know how people, when you help them, it's like tit for tat, but it's me and the man up there that's doing tit for tat. I don't do it for anybody else. I do it for the man above, and that's it. That's really what inspires me. When you have people tell you that they didn't kill themselves because of you, and also, dying almost 8 times for me, I feel like one of these days it's going to be my time to go, and it's going to be quick, and then you won't even know. So I feel like I'm always in a hurry to make an impact and legacy. So that what inspires me is to just see people's faces like, yes, I did this, Dr. Leland. Thank you for helping. That brings my heart.
All right. I want to ask you this question, though, because this is something that I think a lot of us, all of us are very big-hearted people. And this is something that comes up in a lot of conversations, especially with talking about people with big hearts, empaths, highly sensitive, whatever. Is it hard or is it getting easier for you, CJ, to receive those kinds of compliments from people when they tell you that, because of your inspiration, it changed their lives? Have you gotten to where you hear that and you receive it and you feel inside yourself like you really are making that difference, or are you still striving to get to that place?
It's not really more of an easy. I think what it is, it's in our internal head. Okay, at the very beginning, it's like, no, I didn't do that. It's because as human being, we tend to be negative. We just are geared for negative thoughts, right? But when you separate your own emotional thoughts and your own assumptions and really take for what it is happening currently right now, and just be grateful for the moment, because you can't take that back. When I say, hey, D, I really like your stuff, right? take that for the moment, just for what it is. Don't add to it, don't minus to it, just take it for what it is. And every time when people tell me that, I take it for what it is. It's not just, oh, it's another compliment. It's another compliment. It's not even about the compliment. It is about me keeping a score in my head like, oh, yes, this is great that I'm doing. Because it doesn't matter how much you're doing or how good you're doing for other people. It's nice to hear it from other people that you are doing great, right? It's not more of like, oh, she's being narcissistic. She wants to be in front of things. And it's just nice that you recognize people are doing something for you rather than you always sound like, I think I did that right. I still question myself. I have self-doubt. I have sometimes issues with, oh, did I do this right? Right. But it's so important, Dee, to really take the moment for yourself and be true to your own values. What do you stand for? Forget about everybody else and what they're telling you. They're always going to have bias. Your own dogs will have bias. Okay. My own dog has bias about me right now, looking at me like, Mom, I'm hungry, right? He's looking at me right now. But take it for what it is and get out of your way. Get out of your head. Take your baggage from the past and live for that moment and think for that moment. And remember that each story always has a second chapter. And there's always, like, if people tell you something, there's always something else behind that something. That's all I got to say.
Awesome. Thank you.
Deep.
I want to hear from everybody that we haven't heard from in a long time, like Christine and Claudia and Nick. Like, so the question, like, what keeps you rising to higher levels for being inspired? Like, whoever wants to speak up. Yeah.
I'm happy to start. So I started my business 8 years ago because I burned out and I did not know myself. So based on everything what everyone has said here, and especially what Isabel does as well, it's been all about coming back to myself and really understanding who I am as a human and honoring my authenticity and who I want to be and how I want to show up in this world. And that's been big for me, stopping the people pleasing and really getting clear on who I am and how I can help others, being true to myself at the same time. And this is what I really want to help people in business with as well, really connecting with who they are, what's amazing about them, and how it relates to the people they want to service.
Awesome. So, like, you talked about reaching burnout and then coming back to yourself. Was there a moment that led you back to yourself, or was it like a series of events that, like, slowly the kind of breadcrumbs or the steps led you back to this place where you got to kind of this magical mirror where you're like, oh, it's been me this entire time?
It was a long journey. It's still a journey for me. So 8 years ago, I walked out of a job for the second time and I had no clue except I just couldn't do it anymore. And it wasn't that I didn't like what I was doing. I just couldn't do it. And I actually sat down and cried for 3 months. And then I started reading Brené Brown. Somehow books came into my life and I went, oh, maybe I should get some help. And I didn't know what burnout was, but then I started on a personal development journey with a lot of coaching and a lot of help. And it took me on a spiritual journey that I wasn't looking for, but certainly has helped me. So it's a long journey. I'd say I'm like an onion that keeps peeling at this point.
So, okay. Have you uncovered maybe your top one or two superpowers that make you, so my question is, and I always ask this, you guys know this, you've had conversations with me. I always ask, what is your secret sauce superpower that makes you the best there is at what you do? So what would you say that is, Christine?
Well, like Mike, actually, I am an amazing empath in terms of being able to feel other people's energy. It was just that I was confused. I thought what I was feeling in others was my stuff, yeah? So I was very much not separated from others. And this has been my big journey, is to learn to separate myself. And my skill and my superpower is that ability to be able to understand other people and see them. And then in my job, what I do is really turning that into creating something for them and really seeing the bigger picture of people and analyzing people and human beings and how we connect deeper. And that's what I do in my business with people too.
That's awesome. That's so awesome.
Thank you.
Hey, Dee, I've got a question for Nicole. And hey, CJ has to run. Thank you, CJ. I will see you tomorrow. Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
you.
Bye, CJ.
So Nicole,
Yes, I'm here.
see, I can't do that. I would be back here fixing an omelet if I was in my kitchen. That's why I'm over here with a bag of chips. So
I know, I'm starving. That's the open pizza box behind me, by the way.
oh, you can't smell food being here. I'd be hungry. Jeez. All right. So gifted bipolar writer, right? So you kind of became your own superhero. Am I wrong? Or like, what was the rebel? You just did this recently, so you've lived,
Yeah.
into adulthood. What was that catalyst that made you tap into it instead of run away from it?
I like the question, and it's really tied in. I'm listening to the questions you're asking, and I think they are just superb. By the way, it really, really draws you out, and I want to say I don't think that's something that everybody's capable of doing as a host. So awesome. Um, what was the catalyst? To be honest with you, can I say that I came on to LinkedIn very selfishly? Is that okay? Yeah, that's totally okay because that's the truth.
That's honest.
So
Yeah.
the truth is, I started on my LinkedIn journey, just browsing, and happened upon my current employer. Um, then fell and broke my knee at the end of not last year, the year before, 2022. So I kind of just got stuck home for 3 months, not being able to walk. And LinkedIn was my go-to, and my network built rapidly in that time because I had so much time to be on. And that's the thing with social media, it's consistency and presence. If you aren't there consistently, here today, gone tomorrow. That's the truth. Like, we all want to believe that we bring that value, and we certainly do try. And I wouldn't say that I'm the best at what I do at all. I'm constantly striving to get to the best at what I do. That does not mean that where I'm at, I don't bring value. And I want people to recognize that, because I want people to not be afraid to get started, because there's somebody out there that's been doing it longer than you, or that you think is doing it better than you. You need to start for yourself. I didn't set out to start a business, did not. I just took an opportunity to write an anthology, and I've always loved writing. And that just opened the door, and it showed me that if I'm giving an opportunity and I'm willing to say yes, and say yes to myself, then that's all I need to keep doing. I just need to keep saying yes to myself. So my word for this year is actually empowerment. Last year, I flew by the seat of my pants, and there were tons of opportunities that came down the pike. I now have a pretty successful audio room on Sunday mornings. My live show is going to kick off this month. But it's so much more than all of that. So that passion that actually burns in my belly is the fact that I just showed up on social media and went, this is me, take it or leave it. I'm here, I'm happy to be who I am. And as a result, and because of my banner, I've had lots of people reach out to me to thank me for them feeling inspired that a person that is bipolar has embraced that in the face of everything and everyone. And it's really about me being able to put my head down on the pillow at night and be okay with myself. So if you could show up for yourself, really and truly, there's nobody you can't show up for.
Amen.
And I believe that just mental illness in general, I could only speak to bipolarness because that's what I have, and my meds are like right there in the bathroom. I have a tiny little house. Don't be afraid to get the help you need. There are times you're not going to be able to help yourself, and that's okay, because that's why you have people around you that love you, and if they're paying attention and care about you, they will see it and they will help you get the help you need. And do not ever, ever, ever think that there's something wrong with you because you get up in the morning. I take 4 pills, okay? 3 antidepressants and 1 mood stabilizer. Last year has been the best year of my life. The last 3 years have been the best 3 years of my life since I was diagnosed by my psychiatrist. So you need to show up for you. You need to do it for you first. If you could not wake up 6 feet below, but wake up on solid ground like everybody else, you have the same fighting chance as everybody else. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I have a lot of fire in me. Could you tell?
Amen.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you for the questions. And Mike, well, you know I love you. Camel hat and all.
Oh man, hey, courage, tremendous courage for you to do what you did. And again, that's what it's about. We don't judge and put you down and boo you. We just there to support you and reciprocity. You're a good person and you hit that reciprocity. You hit it right back, man. And that's what it is. It's like a game of ping pong. So yeah. D, see what I'm saying? There's a lot of superheroes, man. You must be thrilled, my friend.
Oh, I knew when I came into the Hounds that you guys are like the Avengers meets the Justice League meets the A Team meets the yeah, man. Like we got it going on, dude. So I want to talk. I want to ask Claudia this question because the artwork that you do, like the conversations that we've had, and seeing your posts on LinkedIn, like your not just your art, but the way that you incorporate affirmations and self-love into your artwork, and then you're teaching other people how to do that. I don't do a whole lot of art, but I've got a wall in my bedroom where I turned all my affirmations into it spells I am, but the letters are made out of individual words like bold, first, love, uncommon, like, and it spells out. So I'm like projecting and experiencing that, the energy of that on a regular basis. What you do as an artist in teaching people how to express themselves and bring out the best in themselves, will you tell us like where that inspiration comes from and those ideas to create and teach other people how to create? You're muted, I think.
Man, I did it. Uh-oh. Did I messed it up? Oh no. See, I told you I was gonna be fun. There it is.
I see muted. So can you
Yeah.
hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, excellent. So kind of like the similar stories like you, I had my moments of pain. Like I used to be a person that had very low self-esteem, very insecure. I never really felt too happy with myself until finally the point came that I just came to that breaking point that I just couldn't continue with that. I went to actually through a breakup, and that led me to hit what I call an emotional rock bottom. So the beauty of that is that it connected me with myself. Like I embraced what I was going through. I embraced my solitude, and that led me to art. So the beauty of the art is that I wanted to feel better. I wanted to feel happy. And as I started feeling good with the art, it became that place to express what I wanted. So that's how I ended up adding the words. So I wanted to feel happier. So I will write something about happiness. I wanted to be more resilient. So I just kind of like started putting in the hair because I used to be a graphic designer and I love typography. It's something that I have loved ever since I've been in school. So I think that's how it all came together. So that was kind of like my place to create those stories, to create those affirmations that were helping me to move forward, to feel better, and just to start envisioning and creating. Because there was a time that I was asked to do this series for an exhibition, like my past, present, and future. And I think that's kind of what led me more into it, because when I went into my future, I was like, I don't know what my future is. So I just wrote there that I'm a Wonder Woman, and just creating and envisioning, because that's kind of like what we do. We have our past stories, but I believe that we really need to engage in those future stories, like start feeling them and getting into those emotions. That's why I'm so big into emotions, because that was something also that I used to ignore. I used to have like this huge walls around me, so I wouldn't let anyone near me, like in the sense of like emotions. I didn't want to be emotionally attached to anyone. So it's just like that's how I was born, and then it just became like about bringing beauty and I feel like if this helped me get better and feel happier, like how can I do it for other people? I think that's just like a natural byproduct of doing something that makes us feel good, and then we just want to share it with other people.
Winner.
Not sure if I answered your question.
No, totally. Totally. That's fantastic. Thank you. And in
You're
the
welcome.
it's interesting because when we go through heartbreak, usually that can be one of those things that like can feel so soul crushing, but it can also be the thing that like leads us to a rebirth that we don't see coming, and then we end up living a completely different, more empowering life. And that sounds like that's been your story, so that's really awesome.
Definitely, yeah.
All right, but I know we've got to wrap up, but I want to do something because Lion has been with us this entire time. I know he's a new hound, and this is his first rodeo in a sense for what it is that we do on these kind of shows. But dude, there's something very special about having somebody like you here with us, who you have been in the background, but you've been running the show the entire time. And I know it's something that Sia usually does, and Mike's getting an experience with understanding what it's like for these production people and the incredible value that all the people that are behind the scenes bring to the table. And so as somebody that, I mean, I worked in radio and I worked in audio for a long time, doing a lot of production work, and there's all kinds of pieces that go on behind the scenes that don't get the spotlight. So I want to give you props and credit and praise, man, for everything that you've been doing tonight. And also just like give you a big giant here in front of everybody. Hounds, welcome. You are the man. Thank you.
Thank you guys. I appreciate that. No, trust me, I appreciate it.
All right, Mike, it's all you, bud.
Oh, you can't do that. I just said you can have it. Hey,
okay.
Yeah, I'm having fun. The viewership goes down when I get up there sometimes. You're rocking it, brother. And it's a joke, I know. Maybe. But yeah, no, go ahead. There's Oli, Lion. He don't like to talk that much. That's why we get along. So yeah, go ahead. We'll go about 5-7 minutes. Anybody needs to drop, go ahead. But hey, if you're ready to keep going, let's keep going, man.
I'm so sorry,
Nicole's
guys.
already gave.
Yeah, I gotta sneak out. I'm gonna be on another live show if anybody's around after Tim Schoen's 100th episode celebration. So thank you so much for everything.
Thank you so much.
As always, thank you for embracing me just the way that I am. And I love you all. And there's no way you can't freaking love being a part of the Hounds. It's not possible. Okay, bye, y'all.
We love you. Go eat.
All right. Well, the Lion, we didn't really ask you, man. Like your superpower, you said is, you know, keeping everybody from hounding you because of how awesome you are, and also making everybody else shine. Will you tell us a little bit about like what is it that like gets you up in the morning? Like what is it that is your inspiration that like when you open your eyes in the morning, is it something that's like, I'm going to sleep another 5 minutes, or your eyes open going, yeah, baby, we're going to make magic happen today? Like, what is it?
So it's a combination of both. And I say that jokingly, but seriously, because I feel like I've earned that. Because real quick backdrop about me is I'm retired military. And so I was Air Force first, then I went into the Marines, Special Forces, and then accounting. So my body has been through so much, so I've earned that rest, is what I say. But I will sleep an extra 5 minutes if you give it to me. But what gets me up in the morning is my wife, my son, my family, right? I still continue to push for them, and I work to break generational choices. I don't say curses, because no one took Eye of Newt and put it in a bowl and stirred it up and cursed, my culture. So it's generational choices. I work to try to show my sons and family how we can adjust and grow better. So that's what gets me up in the morning.
Winner. Hey, thank you for your service, dude. That's serious.
Yeah.
Serious stuff. Thank you for
Appreciate
that.
it. Yeah. Thank you.
Nice. He's a man of many words, right? That's
So
why we're gonna get along.
Can I share one thing on that? My wife and I, we do something, and this is not anything no one needs to do. But one thing that we do is we have like a little clothing line on our clothes. It says, tell a veteran, thank you for their sacrifice versus their service. Sacrifice over service, right? Because as veterans, most people don't understand that we sacrifice way more than we serve. Time away from family, mental health, ailments, physical stuff, everything, right? So it's just a little small thing that we do. And watch how a veteran shines more if you tell them thank you for your sacrifice. it means way more to them, for most of them anyways. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you for your sacrifice, and thank you for educating and leveling up consciousness here about what it is that actually, like, how we can communicate love to you in a more empowering way. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
And you know what? If I can interject, D, and you know, one thing that we forget to do is we forget to thank the family of our servicemen and women, because you are not the only one that made us. And I'm a vet myself. I'm an Air Force vet as well. And you are not the only one that made sacrifices, because when we're deployed for 6 months, 8 months, a year sometimes, and we go to Afghanistan and we go once, twice, 3 times, the spouse and the children leave, stay behind, and they have to carry on, and they have to carry the other person, the serving person's, they have to pick up the slack. So yeah, I love what you said. It's thank you for your sacrifice. I love that. Thank you, Lion.
Yay! Whoop, whoop.
That's it. I just wanted to add that. That's it.
Nice discussion.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
Mike, we're over time. It's your show. I want to hand it back to you, man, because you're the captain. You're the captain of the ship, man. You're the Han Solo of this masterpiece.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not. Hey, we're okay. We're not crashing yet, man. I love it. And again, this is what it's about. It's not about perfection. It's not about anything else. It's about just being us, helping each other. I told you guys. Somebody said, what's your weaknesses?" I said, I don't have any. What do you mean you don't have any? I said, because I got so many people that fill in the gaps. I don't have any. I go get me a D and a Lion. I mean, dadgum, man. Special forces. I mean, there you go, right? And he's cool as a ceiling fan. We got all these folks. I mean, I can't draw a stick figure, but I've got Claudia, right? Um, Sometimes I just go too crazy, and I've got a Christine Bell to keep me kind of lined out with the flow chart, right? All these folks, man, bring amazing energy. So before we wrap up and close, I want to make sure that I highlighted some folks. I love to close on this. This is our signature question, right? There's someone like you, a little Lion, a little Christine, right? A little Isabel, a little Oli eating chocolate. And here's the question: they're stuck, right? They're negative tapes. They feel like they're trapped in their own whatever, maybe their own life. They're on a treadmill and can't get off of it. Just anything in general. What's your best advice to someone out there? Maybe you're a few steps ahead. What's your best advice to get them to take that one baby step? Just one little step towards what they were made for, the greatness that they were destined for, that they're not tapping into. All right, we're going to start with Christine Bell.
I love that question. And thank you so much for this fantastic chat today. I really, really enjoy it. So actually it fits back to my word for this year, which is to follow my heart. And the big thing that I have always stopped myself from doing is to say yes to opportunities. I always like to hide a little bit. So this year's all about saying yes to opportunities. And that has to come from me. No one else can make it happen. So that's me.
Nice. All right, who's next? Very good. And again, I appreciate your help. Lots of things that could have took me months took me days because of your expertise, and that goes for everybody in the Hounds. Seriously,
And
I've been like 5 years backwards if I didn't have y'all, man. Y'all fill in gaps.
And right back at you, because guess what? You've been one of the biggest people. There's another one, Edward C. in Australia, but you is definitely one of the ones that have made me come out of my shell and put myself out there. Yeah. So thank you for helping me put myself out there. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's what it's about, everybody. Pushing each other up, not perfection. I mean, we're all messed up, at some point. We all have challenges and whatnot. But man, give each other grace as best as possible, learn and grow. Let's see who we're gonna pick on. We're gonna pick on Oli. He's been quiet. Oli, hey, little Oli out there, man. What's your best advice to get unstuck, brother?
Well, the first advice will be to embark others in your adventures, because usually I tend to do things on my own, and then I realize that I'm stuck because I'm on my own. So it's to embark others in my adventures, to be accountable to them and to help them. And then there is another thing that is important. I learned through someone else, and that's why I pass it on. Is that don't chase to do something and then to be happy. Be happy and then try to do something, but be happy whatever happens while you are doing something. Because we say, oh, I will be happy, I will do this, I will do that when I will do that. So I think the most important is to always be happy with what we have right now. And in the future, we will stay happy and we will do things. But if we wait to do things in order to be happy, I think we will never be happy, because then we will always chase external things in order to have our inner happiness. That's it for me. Thank you.
Wow. Yeah, man. Hey, well said. Let's see if I can keep track. Claudia, you're on deck. All right, little Claudia out there, just feels stuck. What's your best advice?
Well, from my experiences, it relates to what Christine said. When I hit that emotional rock bottom, I realized that I just never gave myself an opportunity to expand, try new things. So my whole thing is just like saying yes, having new experiences, being open to try something new. If someone invites you to do something you've never done before, do it, because you don't know what that experience is going to cause you to feel or open up and expand into just growth. So always say yes to trying new things. That's my thing.
Good. I don't know. I think it's my daughter that was texting me, because I got a bunch of voice messages that make no sense. I think it's a little one. Mama must have done something and she's got the phone. Hey, you are inspiring to me. I mean, you keep it, you don't talk about it much, but we all have
Thank
challenges, we
you.
all have our journeys, and you just won't. You're like the Energizer Bunny. I'm showing my age. Energizer Bunny. You just keep going, man. And I think that's it. Push each other up. Life is hard. Um, and when you're alone, it's harder. And that's kind of the calling card for all the strays out there. Connect with somebody. Doesn't have to be me. D, he's welcome wagon, right? He's bringing it up. All these folks are here. Um, just reach out, start a conversation. No stranger danger. So, did we get Lion up there? I know Lion's been up there
No
recent.
stranger danger.
But
Yeah, I'll jump in. Thank you. And real quick, I'd say something when you said about the top. I heard this earlier today. Someone said it's lonely at the top. It's even lonelier on a laptop. So collaborate, right? Collaborate. Get other people involved. All right. You can use that. It's not copyrighted. You can use it. So my thing to tell people what, kind of motivate is to think about living while you are alive, right? Enjoy the food, enjoy all of everything. And then also finally live in the 3 F's. That's what me and my family live by. Don't worry and don't care. If someone does not feed you, if they do not finance you, and if they are not fornicating with you, do not worry about what they have to think about you. Live your life to the fullest and live while you're alive, because you're going to die anyway. So just die with greatness.
okay. Dadgummit. All right, you said it. I've said this in private. I said, look, if I don't pay taxes with you, eat with you, and sleep with you, I really shouldn't care that much about what you think. And I'll be darned if Lion didn't just rip it off in the live stream. All right. He is no longer shy. Took him what, 10 seconds? I'm so happy. All right. So forgive me. I don't think we got is Isabel. Do we need to talk about little Isabel? Is that the last one?
What was the original question? I forgot.
Yeah, it's been too much fun.
Yes.
Little Isabel out there, she's stuck, negative tapes. She wants to do something, but just just doesn't have the confidence. What would you say? What's the first baby step that they can take? What should they
I
ask themselves?
have I have two. Keep your joy. Keep having fun, because this is not that serious. And if it's not going to matter in 5 years, if whatever you're going through is not going to matter to you in 5 years, then don't give it 5 minutes.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, on that note, dadgummit, I guess what? I'm just gonna say, listen, lots of good things. We've got things in the works. We're looking to help people. So don't think, well, I don't have this, I don't have that. I don't know, I don't have all my stuff together. Uh, you know, I'm gonna wait before I try something. I'm gonna wait before I reach out. What are you waiting for? Right? So before we go, we're gonna give it up to the last guy, the patient, the superpower, the Superman himself. All right, D, and we'll let you close this out. D, take it away, man. There's somebody out there, that passion, but they just keep going through the motions. You know the question. What is your best advice for them, my friend?
So when we were little kids and we got stuck inside during school and we felt like we were trapped, what was our breakout thing that set us free? Recess. So I think revisiting our inner little kid, and Isabel said it a second ago, and so did Oli, let's go outside and do something different and have fun. That's one of the best ways to get unstuck, because you're not surrounded by the things that are feeding the mindset of all the stuff that's not working right. Now you're in a different kind of energy. And I had this realization when you were describing it. When I was a little kid, I went to a Baptist church and I was obsessed with Superman. And I had to wear a suit because I grew up in the South, grew up in Alabama. I had to wear a suit to church every Sunday. I would get home immediately, change out of my suit, put on my Superman pajamas, and put my suit back on. And then I would run into my parents' room and I would do what Christopher Reeve did, and I would pull my shirt open and I would be Superman. Well, what am I doing now? I'm a 42-year-old adult wearing a Superman onesie.
Oh man,
For
no
this
fly.
show to have
Wonderful.
fun. There's no stuck here. So you want to get
Wonderful.
unstuck, you be like a child and remember what it was like to be a kid, and everything will flow like magic.
Hey, still, I'm number one in the what the hell department. Yeah, you're still number two in the onesie, man. Look at it. Yeah. And again, I appreciate all you guys. We had a fun time. Just wanted to break the ice with everybody, man. Everybody seems to be, going through recovery from the holidays. And I heard a lot of folks say, look, I'm not really where I wanted to be in the new year. It's really an arbitrary number, guys. It's just a calendar. All right. You can restart anytime you want to. All right. We don't worry about it. Just pick up where you left off. So guys, everybody here, ladies, appreciate you 1,000,000%. Lots of good things coming to fruition. It's the Wild West out there in the Hounds now. We're creating, we're building. It's no longer LinkedIn centered only. We're bringing people from every platform, offline, face to face. This is a resource. If you're jobless or you're looking at a career transition, we've got people that are stellar, top notch people that you can come in, connect with, learn from, and then just go be happy, right? Come and learn. That's the whole point. So everybody, appreciate you. All the audience, thank you for hanging with us late. And man, hey, all boats rise. Believe in yourself, believe in others. Let's roll the intro if I can find it, or the outro. And you all have a great week. We'll see you back next week. Special guest, don't miss it. Thank y'all for stopping by. Be sure to follow, share, and like, and send me a message if you had fun today. Y'all come back now.